Yeah, I'm glad Christy talked about windgrass. I don't want to take that for granted. We're kind of the capital on this side of the Mississippi for windgrass and wheat, and some of you have dealt with windgrass for a long time. Others have not and don't necessarily recognize it. If you can keep this off your farms, it really translates to thousands of dollars. So that could be your door prize if you recognize this. So if we keep that off your farm or some of your fields, it really translates into big dollars. Right now, that stuff that you see coming in, encroaching from the ditches, that's more the bluegrass, the chess. This is usually scattered about, but before you spread it further through your machine, because we seed it, the combine is our seeder for windgrass. Take a look at that and see if you can watch for that. It'll turn, there's a reason some people call it red top. It gets quite reddish, grows a little bit above the wheat. So watch for that because it's really spreading throughout the state and it's not a good thing. A couple of things to tell you that you already know by way of reminders. With Fusarium head scab, I think we're going to be looking at really good quality, especially in these drier zones of the state around heading. I don't anticipate any problems with head scab this year, especially if you use the fungicide. Again, this year when we lose 10, 15, 20 bushels, it'll be more likely to be related to leaf diseases. But I think we'll do very well with Fusarium head scab. Adjust your combines as always, at least as you start out. I do want to make this one point. Quite often we crank up the wind as much as we can, especially to try to minimize head scab, because that is one way we can reduce our DON levels by 50%. The other way is variety selection anymore, which is really striking. But the point is, at this point in time, cranking that speed up. I do wonder, though, and check me, I would start that way, but I do wonder with some of the stripe rust and some of the drought stress that we've been experiencing, I think we will be looking at some smaller kernels. We have quite a number of heads out there to support, and really the only decision the plant has to make anymore is where am I going to cut back? And the answer will be they'll drop some kernels off and they'll also have smaller kernels. The quality I still think will be very good, but I do wonder about cranking up this wind, what happens? Are we going to be throwing out more out the back than what we need to? So just check that out and maybe some of you can answer that. In a scabby year, we lose just a couple of bushels and it's not a concern. But if the scab, if you learn after your first few loads, your DON levels are looking real good, maybe back that off a little bit and see if your harvest loss can be reduced just a little bit. That's the other thing, and I maybe say it for me because I don't think I'm the only one that has almost come really close to contaminating an entire bin. Anything with treated seed, you know this. Check anything that's handled treated seed or been anywhere close to treated seed. Or if you have new staff, just make them very mindful. There's no tolerance for any stained or treated seed, of course. And the other one is fecal material. I don't think we're going to see too much lodging this year, even though we have some pretty nice height out there. But deer, birds in containers or wagons, just be mindful of that as well. So we have a great quality product from Michigan. Just looking ahead, and I like to do that at this meeting just a little bit, is what are the next steps, not only in terms of marketing, but also a weed management plan. We got some really nasty stuff out there. Use wheat, take full advantage of this wheat rotation to manage troublesome weeds. Also keep in mind that cover crops. I'd really like to see 99% of our wheat stubble turn nice green in late August and September. This is a huge opportunity to conserve moisture, build health. So cover crops all the way, and I'd like to get that up to 90+% of our acres have a nice cover crop following wheat. There is a great opportunity for this watershed. I have some brochures, but they've got a really generous program relative to soil quality, soil health plan, and so you have a really good cost sharing opportunity through the Saginaw Valley depending on which sub-watershed you fall in. And I have some brochures, but check this out with your district office and your soil conservation district offices. But Megan runs it for this whole part of the state, because we're talking 22 county area, but they have a very generous program. They've gone through cut a lot of the rules out And if you can get cover crops as one of the programs, it's a great opportunity here. You certainly can probably do it for no cost at all. Megan's on maternity leave, so I gave you not her office number, but her cell phone number. So Megan coordinates the whole project for the whole 22 county area. And yeah, no, I did talk to her yesterday, but yeah, I went right to her cell phone. But she said, yeah, she would take calls and entertain that. But if you haven't heard about that program, check it out because it sounds very workable. Last and not least, of course, is be safe, which again sounds really silly or obvious. But nevertheless, you and your team that have been around the farm maybe work in sync and can anticipate everything that's going on. But maybe some of the new members or the nephews or the grandkids around, just be extremely careful. I hope you all have a safety plan of sorts that you run through because accident, as you know, and we go around the table and you can all give examples of this. But again, before harvest, you might talk to your crew and make sure that everybody's is being safe, all the lights are working, everybody knows how to handle the equipment. I do want to mention, though, and we take advantage of Ron Bates. He's our new boss in the Ag Innovations, or Ag Institute for MSU Extension. And I was wondering if Ron would make a mention of that. Is he still he's sneaking up behind me? Say a couple words about this. This is only a couple weeks away, and it should be kind of good.
Martin, thanks very much, and thanks for the opportunity. Good afternoon, and if I've not had the opportunity to meet you, I'm Ron Bates. I'm not new to Michigan, but I am new to this role as Director of Ag Extension. And as you all well know, up here in the Thumb, we have some really great staff that work with you all, and we have great partnerships with the diversity across Michigan agriculture. And this is an event that we're calling MSU Agriculture Innovations Focus on Soils. It's a collaborative effort, not only across the college within MSU, but also across agriculture. So we've been working with the Dry Bean Commission, the corn group, the soybean group, sugar beets, and also certainly the wheat commission to put together a really unique and different event that has not been done before. So right back here on August the 24th, you will have the opportunity to attend one of the more unique field days that you will have ever be a part of. And what I mean by that is that we will have a wide variety of demonstrations here. We will have 3 different soil pits. We're going to be bringing people from across the country, both from academia as well as industry, to talk about things that are going to be important to your business as it relates to improving soil quality, soil health, and ultimately crop performance. So we'll have the opportunity to learn more about nitrogen and phosphorus work. I know Kurt was talking about that earlier, where we have extensive discussions around cover crops, look at the impacts of extended rotations on soil structure, better understand what water percolation through the soil as it relates to tile, thinking about new ways for tile structure, as well as impacts of compaction and how to mitigate that through changes in tires and tracks. So this is going to be something that we've not done before. It's one that we've had great success with working with our commodity partners as well as people within the organization to put together something that we've not had and you have not seen. And so it's an opportunity to be here at 8 o'clock for registration. It is a free event, and we'll have a catered lunch as well that we're calling the Celebration of Michigan Agriculture. So I do appreciate the opportunity. I hope to see you back here again on August the 24th. We would certainly appreciate the opportunity to have you back on the 24th. Martin, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ron.